Hey there, Standout families. Jason here. I've got another tip for you today. I hope that you're enjoying this series about how to stay married and not kill each other. So if you watch part 2 of this series, I told you that I had a tip I wanted to tell you about, but then my wife asked me to wash the dog, and so I made a video about that instead. So today I want to give you that tip. This will be part 3 in how to stay married and not kill each other. So the tip I want you to know is that you've got to learn how to forgive and move beyond the past. So many couples have relationships that are struggling or even fail because they can't get out of the past, one or the other or both. I mean, if one of you has messed up in the past, or maybe you're not the one that's messed up, but your spouse is messed up in the past, they did something dumb, and say they forgot your anniversary or your birthday, or, they came home from work and said, what you been doing all day? Or they got mad at you and yelled. These seem like little things, but what happens is if you get bitter about these things where you're hanging on to them and you can't forgive and move on, you keep bringing them up in conversations is what happens. And so there's nothing that your spouse can do about something from the past. So if they've done something they need to, ask forgiveness for, say they're sorry. Once they do that, they can't, if I come home and I say something to Jennifer that's rude, or, I forgot her birthday, 2 years after the fact, like I can't go back and remember her birthday. I can't take those words back. I need to, there's things I can do to try to, reconcile that. But if I've done that, say you've done that, your spouse has tried to, reconcile, and you keep bringing these things from the past up in conversations, your spouse is going to feel like it's impossible to have a winning relationship with you, because they can't do anything about those things. The only thing they can do something about is the future, right? So, obviously there are some things that, that if you're in a relationship where there's been, abuse or infidelity, that's not what I'm talking about today. If you were in that situation and you chose to forgive and move forward, then it's not going to be helpful to bring that up. But I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about, things where you've said something mean, you've done something rude, you've done something that wasn't thoughtful, you forgot something important. At the time, those don't seem important, but it's not important, but, they don't seem as significant. But, when it's 2, 3, 5, 10, or even 15 years later, and your spouse is still bringing those up, it can get really frustrating. So I've talked to lots of couples where, this is an issue. And so you've got to just forgive, and you've got to let those things go. They can't go back and undo that. And you bringing it up is just going to make things worse. It's going to make it seem like, it's going to make the relationship feel hopeless for both of you, because you're thinking about it. Now your spouse is thinking about it, and both of you know there's nothing you can do. So that's my tip for today. Learn to forgive just like Jesus forgave you. Just imagine if Jesus remembered everything that you did, every way you sinned against him. How would you have a great relationship with him if all he did was bring up your past? But he doesn't do that. He casts your sins into the sea of forgetfulness, and he wants to move forward and have an intimate relationship with you. And that's the example we have as husbands and wives. And so take that tip to the bank. I promise you it'll help you have a standout family and help you stay married happily and not kill each other. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.